Okay, so what you'll find is I've packaged up this project called Welcome Screen in my Google Drive. What you'll need to do is download it, and then you should end up with a zipped file like this on your desktop. If you were just to extract all that. What you'll do is you'll find that you can just double click on this folder and then run the actual application, and it'll open up your Unreal Engine. Okay, so I'm just gonna run mine from inside the engine because I've already got it. Okay, so what is this? Right, so let's just talk you through it. I was going to try and do this live in class. I realized some people probably aren't going to be in class, and also it got a little bit more complicated than I first anticipated. So when I finished doing it after a couple of hours, I just tended to forget some of the steps. So the best way to do it is for you to import my project and then change it around a little bit to suit yours. Okay, so I'm just going to talk you through it. It's a third person game, as we've been doing, right? So the blueprint for that guy is in here. Yep. And I've created a folder called main menu, which is what you're going to migrate to your project in a minute. Okay, but I'll go through that in a second. In the main menu, what you'll see is we've got like a background image, a main menu, which is tying that background image to the widget blueprint. I've got a new level called main menu level, which is just basically going to load first in the project, and that's just got nothing in it. It's the blank level. It's this black kind of space with no lights, nothing. Okay, so let's just have a look at that, right? So let's just go into the blueprint. I've got HUD, which we've been doing before. I put like a background image. It's a canvas panel. I've set it to like 27 inches because that's what my monitor is. The image I've just brought in, so that'll be your poster. So you'll bring in your poster and put it into as the backdrop. I've got a text widget and a button which starts the game. Okay, and I didn't put a quit button in here because I just thought, well, why would you load the game if you just wanted to quit it instantly? So there's going to be like start game. You could very easily put a quit button in here. It's just two nodes. But I've decided to put an event on press for the escape button. So whenever you're playing the game and you want to quit, you just press escape and then it kills the application after you compile it. Okay, so yeah, start button's there. If you want to change the color and everything, you do it over here, style and appearance. You can do hovered, pressed. I haven't done anything on this one. I've left it blank for you to color in, but you know, should you wish to change the fonts, you just bring in some fonts into your assets and you know, change the color, etc, etc. Okay, so that's it really. And what you would do is maybe do your own sort of design, changing some of the HUD around, changing the background image, that type of thing. Okay, in the event graph itself, right, there is on click is the start button, and what that does, that loads the default map. So the default map would be, oops, let's go back to here. Can I get back away? Okay, the default map is that third person one. That's the one that loads, that's got the kind of, you know, the base, the kind of level on it, like the normal level with the character. Let me just go back to here again. Okay. Yeah, and that just plays the game. So let's just go down to the last bit down here, which is quite important. Yeah, I had to put this in to allow them, like the mouse cursor to be shown when you compile it. Well, when you actually turn it into a game that someone can click on in Windows, and it sort of loads on the full screen and they can play the game and stuff. Like you need a mouse to click on the button which says start game. I could have bound that to a key, but I thought, well, the mouse is going to be the most user-friendly until the players got their fingers on the keyboard and they're actually moving around the game. So that was just a blueprint. I kind of did a bit of Googling and found that, and so that allows me to click the button. Okay, So that's it. That's the main menu blueprint. Let's yeah, the level doesn't do anything. There's a couple of other bits which I've done, which I'll have to do again in yours. Is in the project settings. You go to map, and you want to change this editor startup map and game default map just to the main menu level when you do yours, because otherwise it will start on the third person one and you won't ever see the menu. Okay, so it's just a welcome screen really that sets the scene. It's got a button that you can obviously elaborate on it and do multiple buttons that do multiple things, but I've kept mine simple with just one start button. Okay, so let's just put this into a new project, right? So there's a few hoops you have to jump through. In the content folder, you've downloaded my project, right? And this is the same project verbatim in front of you. So I'm going to go to main menu. I'm going to migrate, right? I'm going to migrate it, but where? To one of my other folders. So I go back to the Unreal Projects folder, right? I want to put it in HUD2 because it's just empty and doing nothing, right? But this would be in your project. Now, if you're going to import a new file, like migrate stuff that could affect your own project quite negatively, what I'd be inclined to do is go into your documents, just go into Unreal Projects, grab the folder, like just copy, paste it somewhere that, so if you have to go back to the, to a point before you imported my code and it destroyed your project, I doubt it will, but let's say it did, then you've got a backup. Right? There's probably better ways of backing up a project, but that's one way of doing it. Okay, so just keep a copy, but it should be okay. I've tested it on a couple of my projects and everything went in fine. So HUD2, let's select that folder. Right, so what that's going to do is, hang on, that's not the one I want to do. I want to do Unreal Projects, HUD2, content. This goes in the content folder, okay, with the spikes and everything, so it shouldn't take very long. Let's close my other project down. Okay, so HUD2 is here, right? But you'll notice HUD2 doesn't have this black screen, which is what we want to try and do. So we have to try and do that. We have to edit the project settings. So it starts on the menu, the welcome screen menu, rather than this, right? And how we do that, I think it was edit, project settings, and it was in map. Okay, and then I want to change that to main menu level, okay. I'm going to save that. Now, those changes didn't take effect until I had closed the computer down and opened it up again for some reason. Like, I closed the game down. Let's try it again. Okay. Let's just open it up. Yes, so it's opened it on the black screen. If I was to play, I should have my start game, and it goes to my player here. I can move them around. I've got my spikes from earlier on, jump up on there, and I don't know if it's still going to work. Yeah, it has my death screen working. I can space to restart. So if you wanted to import the spikes game that blueprints that I gave you, then that's also this is going to be the same process. Anyway, so let me just escape coming back. So I think that's the kind of main part of it, right? But what you'll have to do to allow me to play the game is you're going to have to package it up. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure there's not, because I think I was doing a few up here. I can just delete that one. I think, yeah, that was a packaged game. So when you package a project up, you don't want to send people a kind of an Unreal project. If they haven't got Unreal installed, they want to just open it as a Windows file, and then Windows will play the game. Yeah. So this is the next step, which would be compiling, I guess is what it would be called. Is it compiling or packaging? Okay, so I'm going to package this for Windows, right? I'm going to put it on the desktop. Shouldn't take very long because I haven't got a lot of assets in there. It's going to allow access to it. Now what that's doing is I think Unreal builds it in like an operating system. It's going to kill Unreal completely. And this one, close all windows. Okay, so we're not actually running Unreal, but when I click on this and I click on this icon here, it's an application. That opens it on my desktop and it loads, it takes a little minute to load. I press start game. And then now I can actually play my game. It's on Windows, got nothing to do with Unreal whatsoever. Happy days. I'm going to kill myself. Oops. There we go. And I press space to restart. But if I wanted to quit this game, I've got no way of doing it. Okay. So the next step is to set up a key binding on the escape key, which means that when I press escape, it will close this Windows application that I've just built. So let me just hit Windows and yeah, this is why you need the key binding, because otherwise you have to do this and it's just not so fluid. I mean, it'd probably be one idea is to have a quit button in the HUD, but then you have to have the mouse live on the game, which is not good practice either. So anyway, this is how you add a key binding. So you want to go, because we're playing in the third person character, we want to go to that blueprint, right? We don't want to put it into the menu. So let me just open up Epic Games. Go to my launcher. I'll kill that one over there as well. HUD 2 has now gone black. Sometimes it takes a little while to catch up that thumbnail. So let's open it up. So this is your project, this is. Okay, and what I want to do is find that third person blueprint there. Right? Open up that guy. Go to the event graph. It's really simple. It's called, is it escape? Yeah, escape keyboard node, right? And then you just move it out and it's execute console command. Execute console command. And that's it. So basically what's going to happen is, the command, sorry, yeah, I got to write in quick game in there. So QUIT, sentence case in game. Okay, don't know why it's sentence case, but this is what I found on a forum on how to kill the game properly. So this is basically going to kill the application that's running in Windows. Yeah. So let's just do that one. Save everything. We do one more package and then we're done. So let's just package that project. And on the desktop, select the folder. Off it goes. Okay, so let's just run that. Super. Okay, so start the game. Here it is. Right, jumping up around. Okay, I'm bored of the game now. I'm going to press escape. Okay, and then it kills the application. And then back to my Windows desktop. So, what could you do from here, right? I've shown you how to put in a welcome screen. When the player has gone around the entire obstacle course and maybe reached the end goal, right? So the place where you want them to get to after they've avoided all of the obstacles, maybe you could build in another, rather than a welcome screen, a finish screen. So that would require a bit of Googling, trying to figure out how to do it, but it would really just be like another level, another blueprint that's triggered when the user maybe like stands on the finish or goes through the finish line or goes over some form of collision that triggers that last kind of screen, like well done, you finished or something. Right, so I'm not going to show you how you do that, but I think that hopefully after watching this video, implementing the welcome screen doing a bit of Googling, I think you should be grand to try and do that yourselves, okay?